The month of November has really not looked very good for silver, especially if you're looking at it in a small window of just 1 month's time. Because if you look at this chart over on SD Bullion's website, you can see that just 1 month ago, this is October 29th of 2024, we were sitting at $34.46. Right now, silver is trading for $30.60. That is a drop of almost $4 an ounce. And of course, the naysayers are going to look at this price drop and say that that's proof that silver is worthless. But again, like I said, you're looking at it on a very small window. And there are 2 points that I want to make. And actually, I think this is probably a really good thing for silver right now. The first being that I do kind of want it to be cheaper. Now, I've said that exact phrase before in videos, and man, there are people that get angry when I say that. And I think a lot of people that get angry when I say that I want silver to be a little bit cheaper are not stacking silver for the same reasons I am. You see, I am stacking silver on a fundamental level as a savings account that's outside of the fiat dollar, as an alternative asset, if you will, or alternative currency, something that's not the US dollar. And I want to be able to buy more of those silver rounds, those ounces of silver for the dollars that I have. I do not have an infinite supply of money, and I believe everybody watching this channel does not as well. I doubt Elon Musk and Bill Gates and all the other multi-billionaire people out there are not watching Silver Seeker on YouTube. So I do not have an unlimited amount of money. I need to get as much silver as I can for the money that I want to put into it. And at this time, I want to continue to stack. But in reality, even if you think about it on that level, silver really hasn't dropped that much. Let's take a look at this chart one more time. And you can see we actually just had a dip right here in this little bit of time that I've been talking before switching back to the screen, going down to 30.48. So we literally are 2 cents away from being exactly $4. But let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's hit this 3-month button. Look at what silver's actually done. If you look at a bigger window, we went from $29.97 starting 3 months ago. We were down as low as $27.93. And all that's really happened is September and October were just huge months for the gains of silver. So these recent drops in silver over this last month have really just returned us to where we were a few months ago. It's basically erased all of the gains. And I know there are going to be people out there upset. Maybe they wanted to sell their silver when it hit 40 or whatever it may be. I get it. I understand that I'm not speaking for everybody. This is just for me. And I think a lot of the people watching, but certainly not everybody, this is actually a really good thing. I mean, I'm looking forward to being able to buy more silver. You know, when it gets up to $35, $40, $45 an ounce, I am definitely still buying because, as I've said many times, I don't predict the market, but I get less when I do buy, and I would much rather it be lower if I'm going to continue to add silver to my stack. And speaking of adding to my stack, I did this video the other day, and I got a comment on it. This guy, Gary, he actually asked me, why did I buy 100 ounces of silver at this time when silver is up? Now, of course, I had a reply for them, and I'll show you the reply. I said, I don't predict the market, man. I buy when I can buy or when I need to. And I want to emphasize that point very clearly. I do not predict the price of silver. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody should. I know that there are analysts out there, and I've said this before, that will look at the charts, and they'll look at this rate cut coming and this happening in the government and so on and so forth, and how it's going to affect the price of silver. It is so comical how often they are wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm better than them or that I would make a better prediction. I would not. I absolutely would probably be worse than they are. But they're so wrong so often that what is the point? So what I do is I look at silver, and I'm going to buy silver basically no matter what the price is, with a caveat. See, when silver gets over a number that I'm just start to become uncomfortable with it, and this isn't me predicting the market, this is just a feeling. Let's say silver hits $60 an ounce, okay? $70 an ounce. I'm going to start to be really uncomfortable about buying silver at $60 or $70 an ounce. I'm not saying I won't do it, but I will be incredibly discriminatory. I'll probably buy less. I will look for deals. I will see if I can buy stuff, on the open market, whatever. And I will do my absolute best to get, the silver that I want to be able to purchase without going gung-ho, going nuts. I'm not going to take every dime that I have and put it into silver. Meanwhile, silver goes to $20 an ounce. In my opinion, that's really good for those wanting to add more to their stack, because at $20 an ounce, I would put the truck in reverse and back it up to the warehouse and throw my money in their face. You see, that's the difference. But that's not me predicting it. That's just me being comfortable with a certain level. So I'm comfortable with silver in the 20s. I'm actually really excited about silver in the 20s. I want to buy silver in the 20s, assuming that the premiums are low. I'm still comfortable with silver in the 30s, even the mid 30s. Even when it gets into the low 40s, I'm still really comfortable with silver. Going into the high 40s and into the 50s, I start to pull back. I start to pull back a little bit on silver at that level. And if it goes higher than that, I'm going to be really discriminatory. I'm going to really think about my purchases. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to slow down. But I am unlikely to completely stop. Now, keep in mind, I say that knowing I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see the future. I don't know. There could be something catastrophic that happens in my life that makes me have to sell silver instead of buy it. I hope that doesn't happen. And I do have an emergency cash fund set aside, sitting in an account right now, just in case that happens, okay? But assuming that something doesn't happen that's so catastrophic that I have to actually dip into my silver, my intent is to not sell, but continue to buy. So and I understand, listen, I understand I'm not speaking for everybody who watches this. I know there are people out there right now that want to sell their silver. Maybe they bought a bunch of silver in 2011 and they just want to get out of it and be done with silver. I understand. I get that. I bought silver in 2011 as well. I have now dollar cost averaged that down. I've bought cheaper silver to wash it out. So my average cost of my stack is way lower than the silver that I bought in 2011. But I get it. There are people that want to get out of it, and I totally understand if you bought silver in 2011 and you're burnt. I know there's people out there that need to sell their silver because, they're struggling financially, or the economy's not going well, or they lost their job, or, they're sick, or they had a car, whatever. I totally understand that. So I know I don't speak for everybody, but I think for the majority of people watching this channel, this is a good thing. Being able to buy more silver for your money is a good thing. I mean, let's say we walked, into a store and you had $60. Well, $60 is going to buy you 1 ounce of silver and you have some change left, or it's going to buy you 2 ounces of silver, right? Well, wouldn't you rather just have 2 ounces of silver for your money than one? I mean, that's how I look at it. I would rather spend $30 in it for 1 ounce of silver than 50 or 60. So silver going down, not up, for me, continuing to stack my silver is a really good thing. This is a really good thing for silver stackers that are still wanting to stack their silver. So I'm actually happy to see it go down. I'm actually happy to see it go down a little bit so I can continue to add more to my stack. And, my perma stack, my deep stack, if you will, I've said this on the channel before, but this is stuff that I don't intend on reselling anyway. So again, I said I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what catastrophic thing might happen in my life where I'm forced to sell it, but my intent is to not actually do so. My intent is to die with this stuff and leave it to my kids, and I hope that's what happens and they can deal with it from there. But my goal is just to add more of it. So if I can add more for a cheaper price, that's what I'm going to continue to do. If I can get money out of the inflationary currency that is known as the dollar, that is what I'm going to do. Because remember, everybody, the fiat dollar, the US dollar is a fiat dollar, and fiat dollars are eventually all going to fail. The fiat dollar is an inflationary currency. It is going to continue to be worth less. You are going to continue to need more and more and more and more dollars to buy the same stuff today that are in 10 years that you could today. So perfect example, this $50 bill right now, today, so gas is like $3 a gallon. So this is going to buy you $16, $17 a gallon. Okay. Well, 20 years ago, this $50 bill would have bought you 30 gallons of gas, right? $1.50, $1.80. Maybe I did the math in my head wrong. $1.50 would be 30. Yeah. This would buy you like 30 gallons of gas 20 years ago, and now today it's buying you way less than that. And in the future, this $50 is only going to buy you what this $20 bill can buy you today. And in the future, this $20 bill is only going to buy you what this $10 bill can buy you today. Think about the price of a Happy Meal. Or not a Happy Meal, let's say a McDonald's meal. I'm not saying to eat McDonald's, it's bad for you. I eat it sometimes, whatever. But my point is, 20 years ago, you could buy 2 value meals for this $10 bill. Today, you can just get 1. Okay, so you're going to continue to need more and more of these. You're going to always need more of this. In the future, this $80 is going to be worth 40. It's going to be worth 20. It's going to be worth 10. And that's why I prefer gold and silver as a way to get out of that fiat currency as much as I can. Again, aside for the money that you set aside for emergencies, so on and so forth. So I don't know. This is a good thing for silver. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts. And also do me a favor. Don't forget, if you haven't done so, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.